Hello everybody, and welcome to the bonus video of Let's Play Banjo-Tooie. I haven't really done bonus videos very much in my other Let's Plays though, but, you know, there's some things to show off here in this game though, so I figured, what the hell, because I did say I was going to show some things off here. So, Banjo-Tooie doesn't really have anything as much in terms of postgame though, unlike with Banjo-Kazooie, where, you know, it had the, some bottles bonus challenges and the, and stop and swap, but, yeah, this game doesn't really have much of it here though. But what we want to do first is that we're going to go back over to King Jingling's throne room, because last time we were there was zombified, but he's back to his normal self, so let's go and talk to him. Welcome back. Are you feeling better now, Mr. Ring-a-Ding? Couldn't be better, thanks. Hey, that Mrs. B is a wizard cook. Those scones at the party were top-notch. We wouldn't know. You and Greedy Klongo ate them all before we could get there. Sorry. Yeah, there's not a little food there. You can miss out on us, fake friends. It's all quiet in Jinjo Village. I think you can go home now. Yeah, King Sing-Along. Until your people need saving for a third time. Heh, third time. Sing-along, ring-a-ding, ding-a-ling. Come on, guys. Please remember my name. I'm the one and only King Jingaling. Yep, they still can't get his name wrong, or get his name right, because, you know, no matter what, they still misname him, like, ugh. But anyways, so yeah, I figured I'd just go ahead and show it off right here. So the next thing I at least want to show off here is that, you know, we actually did see this before. Now, you probably think that after we got done everything here, that we can be able to go back over to Bottle's house. Well, unfortunately, folks, he closed the door on us, so... First, he doesn't let us into the party. It's already finished by the time we get done with beating Grunty, and then he just locks us out of the house, or he can't go back in. Damn, Bottles! I thought we were friends. We've been through so much together. Well, you just taught us moves, so we didn't really go through much. You know, we literally just we brought you back to life and all that. We went through all these great lengths just to bring you back from the dead, and you not only not thank us there, but you also lock us out of the house. Goddamn, fake friend, fake friend. But yeah, so that actually means that we can't really explore Bottle's place at all, though. And if you haven't got the Miyazo Gaze goggles where you actually be able to zoom in, then you actually won't be able to pick those up. It becomes lost forever, so it becomes permanently missable if you didn't pick those up. So if you want those, you want to make sure to pick them up before you beat the Tower Tragedy quiz, because that's what happens after you beat the Tower Tragedy quiz. So we're back here in Witchy World, and I did say something about, like, some kind of special cheat code for some kind of fortune you get from Madame Grunty. And yeah, she actually still runs the place, despite the fact that she's been blown to pieces, or blown to, bones and, stuff and skulls, so... But yeah, she actually still operates the place, and so, I want to go ahead and, you know, it actually goes by random, though, and so, yeah, I actually went around and, cut this off right here. So, this happens by complete random, that, you know, sometimes she'll bring out this code here. It's a super secret exclusive cheat. And so this one is, the secret cheat is Get Jiggy. Activate it in the normal way. Now get lost! Okay, fine, jeez, yeah, I'm just got your Chico there. Yeah, she closed up shop here. So yes, so what I did is, you know, I actually did so many attempts to get the cheat code, and so, yeah, you just make so many of it here. It actually happens at random, though, so... if you actually do it enough times or, like, at a very random point, then she'll, tell you that your fortune is this, super secret cheat code. And so, that code is the, Get Jiggy cheat, so I want to go ahead and take that right here. So, it's actually the very last legit cheat code that we can get. Now, you actually can get this without having to, do all this here. You actually just have to spell, I think it has to spell cheat and then spell the whole cheat code backwards, but I actually want to do it the normal legit way there, so... So, we're gonna go ahead and spell out here back in the code chamber of, Mayhem Temple. So to spell out here, and yeah, sometimes yeah, it gets a little wonky here with having to aim, because the way the controls are with moving the reticle around to get the letters here, to spell the letters and shoot at them, then yeah, it can be obnoxious sometimes though. So spell it here, just letter Y, and then there we go. And so Get Jiggy cheat will activate the signpost in Jiggy Wiggy's temple. So it doesn't really do much per se though. It's not really all that rewarding though. But basically all it is though is that you remember those signposts that you saw around Jiggy Wiggy's temple. If you once you have the Get Jiggy cheat code activated, then those signposts will be activated. So I'll actually show that off when we actually get there though. because we're gonna head over to I'm gonna be cutting over to Jiggy Wee's temple right in there, because you know that's a lot of cutting your hair. That's why the video is just so short, because you know, like I said, there's not really much to do for in the post game Banjo-Tooie, because you know, just you know, a couple of special challenges, but you know, not much of it here. And so yeah, those signposts are here. So yeah, it says when fortune smiles, and you know, then there we go. So the Jiggy Secrets of Hailfire Peak. So basically, what it is that it's actually some sort of a guide to let you know what Jiggies are gonna be found, or that can be found in each of the levels, and like where they're located basically, or what kind of missions you have to do, or objectives you have to do. So that's basically all there is, though. It's not really much of it though, but it's a little something for me to show off here, for you know, in case you ever need some help. But you know, it's very but it's a very random thing to do, and it's very hard to get from the from Madame Grunty Set. It's actually in Witchy World, which is actually the 3rd level in the game. But that's just what they do, is they actually tell you the locations of the Jiggies, or the missions you have to do, the objectives to get the Jiggies themselves in each of the levels. So now that's what I'm showing off here. This is actually completely optional. This one is a time attack challenge for the whole puzzle challenge, and so what it is actually the most difficult challenge there is, though, because not only is the time a little shorter than before, I think it's like, well, actually no, it's 100 seconds, so it's actually, well, no, I think it's like usually 200 seconds, so, but this one's 100 seconds. So what it is, it's a time attack, and so you want to get your best record for the for this kind of challenge here. Now, there is actually no reward for this. It's mainly just for bragging rights, or if you actually want to beat your record for the whole time attack challenge. So that's actually what it is. And, you know, it's actually a little harder this time around, because, as you can see here, the Jiggies are actually, are in different positions, and so, not only do you have to place them in the correct positions, but, you actually have to make sure that you rotate them to their right positions, just by pressing the left and right C buttons. So that's what you gotta do, is just, you know, just rotate them. So that's actually where the challenge comes into play. So, in order to actually, the whole strategy for this here, to actually get it as fast as possible, is that you want to make sure to get the corner pieces first, and then the sidewall pieces afterwards, and then that's when you can go ahead and put in the center pieces in there. So that way they'll actually get a little easy for you, because I know it's a lot harder to actually to see where the center pieces are. But you know what the Jiggy positions look like, so that way there you can actually be able to just put in the right position, and there we go. Yeah, Jigtastic declared that 88 is the fastest time, so yeah, truly are the chosen one. So yeah, the fastest time I got is 88 seconds. But if you want to, though, then you can actually just you know, beat your current record for that there, and then the Jiggy will praise you. But like I said, there's actually no reward for this. It's completely optional, so it's mainly just for bragging rights. So now I'm gonna go ahead and save a quit here, because yeah, all you do is just save a quit. You just see game over in there. There actually is no game over cutscene, unlike Banjo-Kazooie, because you know, since the whole Grunty restoring her flesh plot just doesn't go anywhere, then we never get to see that in action. Now, one last thing I want to show off. If we go back to the main menu, Banjo-Tooie actually has some nice little features here, unlike Banjo-Kazooie. That right there is multiplayer, so, you know, if you ever, yeah, it actually does have multiplayer mode, so it's a little challenge run, or like deathmatch, or playing some minigame against different players. And this right here is the replay machine. Well, actually, the TV monitor is actually where you can actually change your settings, like, you know, widescreen mode. This right here is this whole console is actually the replay mode. For the first one, you actually get to replay mini games, and then this right here is actually where you get to replay bosses. So yeah, in addition to this game and finally having bosses, you actually get to replay them. So if you ever want to play, or you know, play the bosses again, then well, there you go. And then last one is the cinema, which is actually where you get to replay some cutscenes if you ever want to, you know, just see them. And also, this is actually the character parade, so it actually shows off all the characters in the game. And this is actually unlocked if you get all 90 Jiggies in your new file. So yeah, just make sure you get all 90 Jiggies, and then Ginjars will let you know, or notify you that you can now see the character parade. That's been unlocked. So yeah, I figured to go and show these off here. And so I guess that's about it for the bonus video of Let's Play Banjo-Tooie. So yeah, like I said, folks, thank you so much for tuning in and watching this whole adventure. It's, you know, it's been such a great ride, and, you know, just being able to play one of my favorite games of all time, and to make it a milestone of reaching 20 Let's Plays. And so I started off with a Majora's Mask, and then to Banjo-Tooie, because I want to be able to play my favorite games of all time. Seeing right there, and you know, it's been great, you know, kind of bittersweet in a way. It actually did, you know, pass off my Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie, because Banjo-Kazooie had about, like, you know, 20-something episodes for the Let's Play, but this one comes up to 38 videos technically for this whole thing, if I'm counting the bonus video. So, but yeah, it's been, it's been a great ride to be able to do like 100% completion for this year, and it's been fun, because I absolutely fucking love Banjo-Tooie to death. And so yeah, then I guess this is where I'll end things off here. Now, as for if if I ever do play and go back to the Banjo-Kazooie series, because I know there's several more games to play there. Like, there's not very much of it though, because after a few games, then especially after nuts and bolts, then considering that game's reputation, then that's when there's no more Banjo-Kazooie games. And I mean, I'm not really going to hold my breath for anything though, honestly though, because the way circumstances are right now, and it's very difficult to see like any kind of light at the end of the tunnel for Banjo-Kazooie, because with any when it comes to sales and all that. Now, like I said, I did hear Toys for Bob is at the very least interested in looking at Banjo-Kazooie, because those of you who don't know, Toys for Bob is the indie studio that they made the remastered trilogy Spyro the Dragon, which is the reignited trilogy. People would say that they also did the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy, which actually is not them though, is actually another studio. But I think they did do Crash Bandicoot 4. It's About Time. So I hear they worked on that game though, at the very least. But yeah, they also worked on Spyro the Dragon, and I did hear they were going to try to make another installment for Spyro, but that's not not much information on that though. It's some kind of rumor though, but but we'll have to see about that though. But I did hear that that at the very least that they're interested in taking a look at Banjo-Kazooie and working on that one though. So what they would have to do first is do the remaster versions of Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, which is actually something I would want going forward in Banjo-Kazooie, and not so much like an entirely new entry though. So because from what I've heard from one of the creators, Steve Mails, he did say that he actually would love a remaster version of Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. Because if he actually wants a new entry in the series, then he would at least have the games to be remade or remastered first, just kind of test all the whole waters, and and see how much of the audience is there, and and that would very much cut off the whole cost for Microsoft, and just to kind of see where things will go from there. And that much I can agree. I'd rather just see a whole remake or remaster first, and that's actually something I would love to see, honestly. I'm so sorry guys, I can't speak today. But yeah, that's actually what I've heard though. But for now, I'm just gonna take this with a grain of salt. But I mean, it's good to hear at the very least though. But for now, I'm just gonna take it with a grain of salt, because like I said, circumstances are very, very difficult at the moment. And so yeah, but I mean, we'll have to see though, and see what comes of it. So and if it does happen, then I will very much just look forward to it and be absolutely excited for. And so let's see what it comes to play, and hopefully hopefully the games will actually come with maybe just maybe on multi-platforms though, because obviously it'll actually be released on the Xbox Series X or whichever current Xbox console, but I actually would love to see it at the release for the Nintendo Switch 2 at the same time though, especially when you consider that and I'm pretty sure Microsoft can do that though, because especially considering that Microsoft has gotten more open to sharing their own IPs to different platforms, which would also pretty much explain why Sea of Thieves is playable on the PS5. They actually did do a PS5 release, so they've gotten more open to more consoles though. So I'm pretty sure it is still possible that that if the remasters were to happen, then it could also be released for the Nintendo Switch too. So I'm pretty sure that can happen as well. I mean, it would have to be too. So, but like I said, we'll see. But again, I'm not really gonna hold my breath for that though, because considering all the circumstances there, and so it doesn't really look all that bright per se though. But again, we'll have to see. So anyway, with all that said, so if I ever do decide to go back to the Banjo-Kazooie series, I know the next one up would be Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge for the Game Boy Advance, and so I actually did play the game, just to play it all the way through. Well, I never got to play I never got to beat the whole game though, because I actually got stuck in the middle though. But I would like to get some practice though, and maybe I'll do a Let's Play of Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge, if I ever do decide to go back to it though. But that's once I get in a certain mood, or just when I decide to do so. And then afterwards, and well, I guess maybe I could do Nuts and Bolts. I mean, I know it has quite the reputation there, but I know I'm gonna have to do it eventually, though. And, you know, at the moment, though, I mean, I played a little bit of Nuts and Bolts, though, but I haven't really gotten to play the whole game, though, so... you know, maybe one of these days I'll just have to, you know, well, I could just, you know, get myself an Xbox Series X at some point and, you know, just, you know, sit back, get the game, and, you know, just play the game, you know, see what it's like at the very least. I don't know. And I guess, you know, maybe I'll do a Let's Play video. You know, like I said, that's going to be a big fucking maybe on Nuts and Bolts. So, if you guys ever want to see that, you know, I'm sure you guys actually would very much want me to play Nuts and Bolts. I'm sure a lot of you guys do, just to torture me, because, I mean... You guys love to torture me, so if you guys really want me, want me to play Nuts and Bolts, then, you know, just give me a lot of requests, and, you know, just you know, go on Blue Sky, bring the hashtag, you know, make Tyler play Nuts and Bolts. So, yeah, but you know, that's gonna be like in the very, very future for that though. So, yeah, we'll have to see. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm gonna be taking a little break for well, maybe for about a week though, but that's mainly, you know, just to get myself prepared for the for my next Let's Play, and I'll you know, do some hints right there, and so or some hints on what the next Let's Play will be, and so yeah, I look forward to that, and so yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in here, and I will see you guys for the next Let's Play. Stay tuned until then.